All right, everybody, welcome to Coffee for Closers. Alex Wellings here. Thanks again for joining us another week. If you're new here, welcome to our show all about the incredibly interesting world of the independent financial planner and us small business owners in the financial space. If you're a returning guest, thanks so much for watching. We hope you liked today's episode. We thought we'd talk we've talked a lot, Jacob, about just the world of marketing and sales, and I feel like we've beat so many of that, we're beating it to death as far as it is when we're talking about this online stuff's better than in-person stuff. But what I kind of thought, what seems to be very interesting, it's like we're obviously in this incredibly great time for annuities, the fixed indexed world with interest rates on the rise. The current interest rate environment is just set the annuity world on fire. We've probably never had better attention, at least since I've been in the business, but maybe in y'all's entire career that are watching this, had better attention on our marketplace. Like, this is where we were meant to thrive. And the products that are coming out right now are just tremendous, and I feel like it's important for us to discuss that side of it as well. So I had some notes of things. Like over the weekend, I was thinking about, one particular carrier sticks out. Like, they're really trying hard to grab some market share right now. And that's Equitrust.
Yeah.
We've had Equitrust on a few times. Dustin's come down, talked a little bit about product and everything that's going on. But particularly this long-term care thing that's going on. They got the bridge product, I believe it's called, that's all about it's an asset-based long-term care solution. Is long-term care coming up a lot? Is that a conversation that keeps coming up now, you think?
I feel like I've heard it throughout the office a lot recently.
I feel like it's coming around, like more and more people are starting to, it's like having a resurgence as far as concern. And I was reading an article just recently about life expectancy. And this was an interesting article. The article was saying basically life expectancies are getting longer, right? But primarily people are in general, not being more proactive about health, and that's what's leading people to live longer lives. It's medical science that's dragging the life expectancy of folks out longer. And what that does is not give you more healthy years. It just gives you more years.
Yeah.
In general. And so what you find are people with longer long-term care stints, because medications and medical preventative or maybe not preventative surgeries, but reactive surgeries are keeping people alive longer. Some like dementia drugs are keeping people in that dementia phase of their life longer.
Mm-hmm.
And these are kind of, there's all kinds of Alzheimer's drugs, and hopefully these Alzheimer's drugs do enough to help people not have Alzheimer's, live better, good years, rather than keeping them partially cognizant of things.
Yeah.
But the article was kind of saying that it was just giving people more years, and that the next generation of medical science needs to be about how people in their 20s and 30s and 40s do the right things, so that things never come up in their 70s, 80s, or 90s, making those more healthy years. Because right now, those go-go years, as Tom Hegna made very popular.
I was going to make mention of that, but you got there.
Yeah, those go-go years are very short. It's a few good years of retirement, and the rest are kind of in decline or cash strapped in that last no-go phase.
So you're saying the article is saying it's tacking on more no-go years.
You get more no-go years,
Gotcha.
More slow-go years, and not a lot of go-go years. And we do all these things to our hips and our knees and all these things, and the hips and knee surgeries are getting better, but it's still not what it used to be, kind of thing. So how do we prevent those hips and knee issues from ever coming those types of things. But that, I guess, is besides the point. I just was very interested in the fact that the majority of the years that are being tacked on are bad years or less than good years, and therefore potentially adding more long-term care needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be the reason why we're seeing more and more of the boomer age folks being concerned about long-term care now all of a sudden, even though for like the last decade it's been, long-term care premiums are too costly and they rarely pay dividends and blah, blah, blah. But now with asset-based long-term care, potentially there is a good solution for that. And I think those boomers have their parents right now staying in these long-term care stints. The people that are retiring 60, well, their parents are somewhere 20, 25 years older. Think about that. They're in their late 80s. And a lot of those folks are in that home health care, long-term care scenario right now. And the boomers' inheritance are potentially getting gobbled up by that, or they see their parents running out of money, and now the boomer is having to support the loved one, the loved parent. And we're just now kind of seeing that. And so that pain is being felt by our prospective clients right now. And Equitrust has the best non-qualified solution out there right now. I just say it. Like, they've been really putting a lot of eggs in that basket, and it seems to be really a powerful tool, because the payout of that long-term care benefit with Equitrust is almost double, I want to say, what some of the competitors are with like One America or, gosh, I think Lincoln has one as well.
Was this the same product that we discussed when Dustin was
in?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he was just coming out, and I I always want to give respect to the carriers. They're definitely, always talking about these things, but it's timing oriented. Does it always make sense for us to talk about it? And like now, all the things Dustin was saying back then seem to be really ringing true today.
Yeah.
And kudos to him and the team at Equitrust for seeing that, because it's become a huge benchmark. And for those folks working in the federal space, we do a lot in the federal market. Long-term care policies, they have a long-term care benefit in the federal government. That's been suspended right now because they're working on pricing. Like, how do we figure out a good price that's good for the carrier, that's good for the benefactor of this policy? And so there aren't any more long-term care, new long-term care policies being written in the federal government. So a lot of those government employees are looking for potentially how do they leverage their other assets. And this long-term care solution with Equitrust seems to be coming out. And then right on top of that, Equitrust throws out a 5-year product. On top of that, a 5-year fixed index annuity, which is really an interesting concept. Other carriers have done this. I mean, they're not alone in this. But they got a 5% fixed rate in it. The S&P 500 index option is a great option right now. Really high caps. It's just, again, I guess that shorter chassis, does it always make sense? What are we giving up to have that shorter chassis? That needs to be inspected, but it is, as far as a 5-year product, a really powerful thing. And they're paying good comp on it too. Across all the boards, Equitrust has always paid good comp. But Equitrust, we do have to accept Equitrust is a B-rated carrier.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they B-rated should be the most important thing. When I look at Equitrust, it's not because renewal rate integrity. They're one of the few carriers out there that will publish their renewal rates. They're not just jacking up rates the next year or jacking down rates the next year and trying to gobble up some quick market share, and then, they don't seem to be doing that. So as a B-rated carrier, they're pretty good from that perspective. Their abilities to pay their claims, their policy holders, that's another thing. I'd have to look at it, but I've not heard of any sort of insolvency type issue.
Do you think the B rating comes more from the size of the company?
It could be from the size that they want, or they could just be working their way towards that. And they've had good ownership for a while. I don't know. I wonder if they're getting prepped to get sold. Who knows? Probably not. I have no idea. I'm speculating, folks. Don't hold me to that.
Don't take that
I'm speculating.
as fact.
But But Equitrust has been a really, really solid carrier for a long time for a lot of folks, you know. And then, from another carrier's perspective, we got to take a look at what American Equity is doing. American Equity has been, American Equity had some rocky years for a couple years, a few years back. I want to say around like that 2020 area, they started to have a little bit of a rocky time. F&G came in, put out a really powerful product portfolio for a while, stole a ton of market share from almost every insurance carrier out there. While F&G has stayed very consistent, has continued to be very, very powerful in the space, American Equity has had a huge fall off and has surged back with some of the most powerful products in our industry right now. Some of the best customer service. I mean, world-renowned customer service. They are an A-rated company. They're publicly traded, or were. Right? I think they just got bought out. So that's something to be thought about, But that was by one of their biggest investors forever. Had some of the largest market share forever. They've almost been kind of like a pseudo-owner of theirs for a very, very long time. And now they've been bought out. But
so shouldn't expect many changes from that then.
No, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of changes. I think that the company that owned them, or owned was the primary shareholder that ended up buying out. They only ended up buying out American Equity because they saw the vision that Anat kind of was leading down. Anat is the CEO of American Equity. They believed in it so much that they saw the value and potentially a purchase. And potentially that saved them from other type of things going on. I don't presume to know. But either way, they have an incredible product portfolio along with the best customer service. They are the benchmark of customer service in our industry. They are, leading the charge on some of these really great products. And they do have if you're going to be kind of one of those insurance or one of those advisors that for your fixed income needs or your alternative safe money strategies likes to hitch your wagon to one or two carriers, they're a great carrier with a ton of different products. And I feel like, they do well in the accumulation style product. They do well in the income product style. They do great in the transference of assets from one generation to the next style product. And for a lot to the same note, F&G does the same.
Yeah.
But like these three carriers with F&G, American Equity, Equitrust, these three carriers are all really trying hard to earn your business. And I feel like they deserve a good look from every advisor out there. They deserve a good look because they're trying hard to earn your business. Plus some of the most competitive programs out there from like a compensation perspective, as well as, again, just great products for your clients. I've just been thrilled with the three, and I'm interested to see how they continue to play out. Not to say there aren't plenty of other really great carriers out there. I do think, some of the stuff that Silac's been doing over the last couple of years has been really, really powerful. Atlantic Coast Life has had some powerful things go on over the last few years. But these are those steady Eddie three carriers that I really see, right now. Oh, my goodness.
Probably a hurricane warning.
There's our hurricane warning. We're in Florida, if you guys don't know. And we just got our hurricane warning right as we're live on air. They really, really like to throw the scary sounds at you, right, with those warnings. Anyway.
Only got to be scared when...
You ever been on a plane and landed and there was an Amber Alert that
went on?
and
everybody's phone goes off.
And they turn on their phone and the whole world just goes off. Yeah, look at that.
I was going to say, you only got to be worried in Florida if the people on the Weather Channel are in like their sweatpants and hoodie. That's when you're like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
They're still wearing suits, you're good.
We'll see. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the emerging products that are out there. I'm interested to hear anybody's thoughts on long-term care. Throw it in the comments, throw it in any sort of direct messaging towards us. If you like today's episode, feel free, go ahead, smash that comment or like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Always seems to help. Jacob, anything else? I don't know. Kind of
no,
a short week for us.
It was a short one. I mean, I feel like American Equity and F&G kind of push each other. They constantly push each other up, so you're getting better and better products because they're just racing each other.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like Equitrust is that niche little brother that's really good at some stuff.
Seems like they're really going after some niche aspects. Yeah. For sure. Not to say that they don't have good 10-year products. I just feel like these two products they've put out lately have been kind of niche.
But they're really good at what they do.
But very good, helpful tools. And like if I'm an advisor out there looking for a good arsenal, jeez Louise, they're hitting us hard.
Is that another one?
Yeah, this is a storm surge warning. Well, they really want to hit us hard. Anyway, with that, I mean, I guess we should just stop before.
I think that's telling us at the end of the show.
They're just gonna keep hitting us. We'll talk a little bit more about the products that are out there. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Coffee Closer.
See ya.
Take care.